Wardrobe sponsored by Charmaine Freeman Designs.
Welcome to the Sharmark Show. I am your host, Sharmark Leo. And as we know, our National Carnival Queen Pageant and Carnival was just out of the door. And here at the Sharmark Show, we're giving you the tea. We want the information behind the scenes, and we just want to get into it. Today we have Mr. Trevor King here with us, going to give us some information in the National Carnival Queen Pageant. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sharmark.
How are you?
I am doing good. A little tired from Carnival and Queen Show, but I'm getting back into
I
that.
think when you leave with Mr. King, you need to leave that little jacket with me. Even though it's not my size, I use it as a head tie.
Sure.
Mr. King, what is your position in the National Carnival Queen Pageant?
I am the chairman of the National Carnival Queen Show Committee, and I'm also part of the production team.
Okay. So, Mr. King, if I did not know better, I would say, come on here, Trevor King, with the National Carnival Queen Pageant. Who's Trevor King? How did you get into the creative industry?
Okay, so who's Trevor King? Trevor King, I started in the creative industry a very long time ago. I won't tell you how long ago because you know my age. Very long time ago, I started in creative as a dancer.
Nice.
With the Crystalites.
Yeah, Auntie Christine mentioned your name a few times.
I started off with Christine Springer. I've danced with Laserfur, I've danced with Shama Lions, Silver Shadow. I think I performed with every single major group on island. My love for the arts really started at school, at primary school, where I was in a class of a lot of creative people. So most of the girls at the time who were in Laserfur were part of my class.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I used to go down in the lodge and watch them rehearse, and then eventually I became part of the performing troupe at my school, involved in every single thing anything to do with arts, and anything to become with expression and performing. I was involved.
And at one time, you had your own dance group, which is called Dance St. Lucia.
I still have that dance company.
Oh, you still have the dance company?
We still perform, yeah. I founded it in 2005.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I've been involved in the creative industry for a very long time as a dancer, actor, singer, choreographer, producer, talent scout, creative director, artistic director. Everything for me, I immerse myself into everything performing or expressive, and that's how I, over the years, grew. I started in the National Carnival Queen as an audience, so me watching the show, going, supporting my favorite.
And as a dancer.
Then I got as a dancer, performing at the pageants and seeing the girls, and then I started off as a talent coordinator. So I've done talents for Tenniel Thomas when she won. I did her talent. Mandy Charlie, Anisha Antoine, Chauncey. There are a lot of talents I've done over the years. I started as a talent coordinator. Then I moved to stage manager. So I used to manage that point. And then I moved to the producer. And then I used to continue doing my stuff. And eventually, that day came when they asked me to be the chair of the Carnival Queen Show Committee. I think I was in 2019.
Yeah. I'm thinking from listening to you with your portfolio and your background, I think indeed they did the right choice in actually selecting you to do the job. And not because you're sitting up here, I'm not afraid of you. Before I knew I was going to invite you, I went on Facebook and I looked at the show way back and I was like, wow. Even though you all put me out of business because you're not using stage decor again, it's screens, music screens. So it has grown, and it makes the show look so international.
And it's only going to get better, Sharmark.
Yeah. Do you ever go back and look at the previous year?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. There are certain aspects of the show that I know, hey, Trevor, you could have done this better. You could have maybe do this. So I go back and look at that specific portion of the show, and then I reevaluate and say, hey, okay, let's do this different next year.
So are you involved at the audition also, or are you present at the audition?
From
start to finish?
From start to finish, I'm involved in every single process of the way.
Okay. Tricky question. Is there an audition and sometimes maybe the girl the judges did not see the girl, she did not make it, and you with your creative talent and your expertise see that person can make the cut. Is there ever a situation, because it happens sometimes, we see it in America's Got Talent, we see it on all these different things. Is there ever a situation where you play a wild card with a contestant?
There have been times, and then one year we did that. We did a wild card when we had 8 contestants and we did a wild card. We did 9. That was, I don't want to say the wrong name. I think it was Giovanni. Yeah, Giovanni. We did a wild card that year. The year we did 10 contestants. We did extra contestants. And for the audition process, most of the contestants think that you have to come well dressed with the proper answer, the perfect talent. That doesn't necessarily get you in, because we're looking for somebody we could mold.
You're looking for raw talent.
Raw talent. Yeah. So
basically, you're not looking for a prima donna.
We're not looking for the total package one time.
No.
Yes, you get the total
package.
But
I realize, funny enough,
you get the total package.
The audition has grown into like a pageant itself.
Exactly. You get the total package, yes, and say, okay, yeah, we could work, tweak and then this. But we don't. We try our very best to give every girl an opportunity at the audition.
Nice. The next question: how do you pair the girls with the chaperone? I'm always wondering that, because you've heard of the scenes. They chose that chaperone for that one. They give that one the stronger chaperone. How do you go ahead and pair a total stranger with a total stranger?
I think everybody. I think you're not the only person. Every year I get that question from a chaperone, from a contestant, from somebody I meet on the street, and that's why at the audition, my committee starts to sitting down and really going for the show and watch the show, in talking to the girls backstage, in one-on-ones. And when you look at the judges' criteria, when you look at the different contestants, their background, where they came from, where they work, what they do, you look at what is it that these young ladies need for the night of the show. And in that process, that's how I pair. So if I realize there's a contestant, if there's a contestant maybe that you need more self-confidence, you need walking, you need this and that, there are chaperones who could pull out that in you. So I would pair you with that chaperone.
I like that.
There are times contestants, I mean, those girls, some of them not working, some of them, so there are contestants who need wardrobe. So I pair them with somebody who could get that wardrobe, who has the
somebody
connection.
Somebody have the connection to make it happen.
So sometimes when people see we pair them with the contestants with chaperones, sometimes you don't understand, but these are some of the instances that's how we pair them. Do we get it right all the time? Sometimes we get it wrong, no, but 95% of the time, I think if the contestant actually gives the chaperone that opportunity to guide and coach them, then it's a perfect match.
The fact that now we're on the chaperone, what is the role of a head chaperone? Because you already have 10 chaperones and you need a head again. Right. Almost like it's a spider. What's the role of a head chaperone?
The role of the head chaperone is actually to guide every single chaperone.
So if I have something to say, I tell a head chaperone.
Something has to come from a central place. And the head chaperone is the one I beating on. I'm not beating on the chaperones,
Okay.
I beating on you. Let's say, Sharmark, you're the head chaperone. I give a directive. I want all this done and this and that. You then formulate and you let your chaperones know, which trickle down to the contestants. They're responsible for the costume designers, the dress, all those people. And then so I'll beat on you because you're the head chaperone. You're in charge of the chaperones and ensuring that the chaperones are doing what they're doing to guide those girls.
And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back, Mr. King. Welcome back. Mr. King, I have questions for you so much. I don't know what direction to start.
I'll try and answer them truthfully.
Mr. King, who's in charge of putting the whole production together? Is it you and your whole team? How do you all come across them putting the whole production together for the night?
Everybody has their responsibility on the committee.
Okay.
But together, we put together what you see on the night. Nice. I cannot do it alone.
Definitely.
And for a couple of years, I used to be doing it. And then this year I brought on Dexter Phillips,
Yeah.
who an amazing young man who really assisted in bringing that production alive. It's a lot, drama. It's a lot from ensuring that all the girls have their talents, their swimwear, their costume, all those things. It's really a lot. And this year we wanted to do a lot of things differently.
So basically, it's two productions in one: the production on the night and the production in setting up that whole thing to make sure it's ready to expose for the whole world to see.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's not. So when people see that on the night, it takes years of planning, because I'm planning already for next year.
Wow.
Because it really takes years of planning.
Yeah. The next thing, Mr. King, how do you go across and select your panel of judges? This year I was very impressed. You had 11 judges or 12 judges.
11.
I want you to explain to our audience why that amount of judges, because in the past again, we know how people in the streets always saying, you have Kimunyoka is Swazi to win and stuff like that. And I've always been saying it's not that case. These are professional judges. They cannot just take them and they tell them, okay, let Sharmark win that show. That's not how it works.
The judges are selected craftfully. You look at the entire production, as in from the time you audition to now. You look at the girls, you look at their talents, you look at the dresses, you look at the costumes, you look at the judging criteria, and with that you put all that into one pool, and you act. Who are those judges who could actually give you that one outstanding young lady? So in previous years, we had 5 judges or 7 judges doing the whole show. So this is actually the second year we look for sectional judges. So this person is good in costume designing. You of course judge costume, dress. This person is good in this. So we look at everybody's talents and what they are good at and what professionally they are skilled at, and then we give them to judge that segment. So it's you judging that segment and that segment. You're not judging the entire show.
And I think I like that concept because it gives each judge a different perspective on the contestants. Because if I'm the starting, I do like that girl for the whole show, my girl, I'm judging you low. Because it happens like that. Because even though it's just talent, that person doing a costume, you have a nice balance. And I think with that too, you get your results faster.
You get your results fast. And the good thing about it, we don't do from I think the time I took over the show, we don't do deliberation. So we don't deliberate at the end. So the first segment has gone, swimwear, let's say swimwear have gone, swimwear, all the sheets are taken and given to the auditors. Yeah. And the auditors are government auditors. Wow. So the government auditors, so by the time swimwear done, you know who won swimwear already.
Okay, nice.
So that's how it is. So there's no going back and then everybody terminating and then we discussing. We don't do the deliberation for none of the carnival events. So it goes straight to the auditors. So you cannot go back and change. So that's why you have to get professional judges who know what they're doing. Because if you're judging swimwear, you have to go back, you have to judge. You cannot finish judge time and say, hey, let me go back and give Sharmark points in swimwear.
Yeah.
Those sheets have already gone to the auditors.
Yes, you cannot play with the results.
So by the time the last segment, that's all the auditors need. And plug it in, and then you have the results.
Wow. I must commend you. I find your production was very tight. I say, that show really shot for my money, pal. I was very impressed. There was no gaps. I mean, I'm not hitting the community. There was the community for contestants. And the show finished 2 o'clock in the morning. I say, I don't know if it's the best they were trying to sell, but I was when you compare, I see this because there was a lot of gaps from looking at it live. The gap was too long. There was nothing happening on stage, no entertainment, nothing. And I was very impressed. It was about 3 hours. I was like, wow.
For me, as somebody sitting in the audience, this is one of the things I always wanted to change over the years. And I always telling Tammy, 11 o'clock. There's going to be a point, Sharmark, when that show is going to finish at 11 o'clock. Yeah. It's going to start at 8 and it's going to finish at 11. Because every year we're going to get better and better. We've Cutting
I
it
was
down,
very
cutting it down,
observant of that.
cutting down,
Even
cutting it
to
down.
all these long bios for the judges, all that taking too long is like a whole deaf announcement. I'm like, that is too long. And I was very impressed. It was the fact that it happened on the screen to the point, and the fact that they didn't have all that long description for the course for the evening wear. All
So
of that buying you on
it's
time.
like 3 years now. I've taken out the description of the dress.
Yeah.
For me, if you're a contestant, right, and when you come on stage and you do your turn and you take out your cover up, if you have a cover up, the impact one time.
Yeah.
Now how you walk in within
You
a
don't
minute.
have to be on stage for a whole
within
5
a
minutes.
minute and 20 seconds, you're supposed to tell me. You're supposed to sell a dress. If I have to wait 5 minutes for you to sell a dress to me, then that's too much time.
Okay. The next thing we need clarity on, there's best in evening gown and there's best evening gown.
Yeah.
So the best evening gown.
The best evening gown is actually what you're seeing.
Yeah.
What you're seeing on you, the best evening
So
gown.
that price goes to the designer or the contestant?
It goes to the
Is there
contestant.
actual MAC or they just choose it best?
It goes to the contestant. It's part of the contestant thing because the dress is not totally designed by the designer.
Okay.
Right?
I
In
understand what
previous
you're trying to
years,
say.
it's not totally just by because the
chaperone have an input,
contestant, the chaperone, the sponsor,
Yeah.
and the designer has an input in that dress.
Okay.
Right? So at the end of the day, you as a contestant could say, hey, I do not like this dress. I do not like this. And all we could do as a committee and as the chaperone and everybody else is to guide you. Because at the end of the day, it's a competition.
Yes.
Right? So guide you. Hey, this is the wrong color for you. This is the wrong, I don't think that is suited for me. But at the end of the day, you as the contestant have to say, yes, that's the dress I want.
Because I think
So
if
at
they're
that
not
point,
comfortable, it will affect their production.
at that
on
point,
stage.
you have some say in your dress.
Yes. Okay.
Because they design it. Some of the girls, by the time they know they reach as a contestant, they have their whole portfolio already of everything that they want to do. So at the end of the day, majority of the time, the dress is designed, is conceptualized by the camp of the contestant.
Okay. Is there also, have you ever come across where I know the committee has to see the talent before the costume. Have you ever come across early o'clock of a talent you see that's not fit for the stage, and as the committee you say, hey, that's not good for production, you all need to change it?
Yes.
Yeah?
A lot of the times, majority of the times. But at the end of the day, I cannot force you, Sharmark, if you're a contestant, to change your talent.
Yes.
Because it's a competition.
Yes.
So if I go and say, hey, Sharmark, I do not think this is the right talent for you. Try
so you can give the ideas, it's up to me to tweak it up, continue with what I have.
Because it's a competition.
Yes.
It's a competition.
Because even Project Runway, the designers, RuPaul, they'll come and give you an idea. Do you think, play with your mind?
You could do it. And there's sometimes I tell a girl, honestly, I do not think this is the right talent. Change this. Because there are years I tell girls, hey, this is not the talent for you. Changing it. And they come back and tell me, thank you very much for changing my talent. I'm going to look like a fool. I tell them, that's what we're here for. We're here to guide you. At the end of the day, it is your choice. So all we could do is guide you. And it's your choice because, like I said, it's a competition.
Yeah. Guys, we'll be right back. It's getting hot. I'm going over the time. I'm sorry. Welcome back. St. Lucia and Kite Shuek for that chin. I got feeling Trevor Mr. King, I think when it comes to the evening gown, I was one person that really used to push the agenda. We used to use the local designers and stuff. But what I find, before you answer that question, from previously when Aunt Michelle and them was, I was in the committee at one time and I was in charge of public appearance. And what I find sometimes when you give the designers the job, you give them the money, they would not even go, not mentioning names, just in general, because you love the art. They would not even go and order some fabric. I just find years ago, most of the evening gowns used to look too costumey. So it's almost like you had two costume segments. So sometimes I understand now where most of the designers, I don't know if you'll give the chaperones and the contestants the liberty to go out of St. Lucia, because I realize sometimes you don't hear the designer anymore, sometimes you hear but I realize sometimes most of the designers are out of St. Lucia. Is it a situation you have to use a designer or you can buy a dress? when it comes to the evening gown?
Okay, so the evening gown segment, it has to be designed and constructed.
Okay.
You cannot go and buy a dress ready-made
Okay.
on a shelf or in a show window.
Okay.
In previous years, they've been involved in all the contestants' evening gown, talent, whatever. So what we have done, I think it's like 4 years now, is we have left it up to the contestants. So you go out and look for your dress designer.
Okay.
Right? The designer has to be a regional designer.
Yeah.
Right? You go out and look for your talent coordinator.
Yeah.
You design your swimwear.
I totally agree, because in the past they used to make it look like you sabotage them, you just give them that
You
dress designer.
you design your swimwear.
So they get the person, they introduce the person to you, and you'll take care of the contract.
We take out the contract and everything like that, and you're responsible. So you reach out to the designer, you formulate your design, you come up with your design. Same thing for the talent. Same thing for the
now the costume is the
swimwear.
king. I think the costume is a very big part of our culture, because it's Carnival. I've seen they have 2 years costume level reach as to stage like half of the costume stay on stage. To me, that designer have to give a percentage of the money back, because you cannot tell me a costume for a few couple of seconds.
There is a clause in the contract.
Because
if
as a
the
contestant, I would faint. I realize the whole wings of the costume.
That's a segment that's really in need
of attention. Is it a
I just think
situation
it
to
is
avoid
in
that
terms
they have
of
to do the costumes early enough so the girls can try it and jump in it and stuff?
I just think in terms of creativity, in terms of time, in terms of appreciation of your craft.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the segments that really needs some time and attention.
Yeah, because to me, when you're a Carnival queen, the costume really has to make a statement. It comes hands in hand.
That's why we adamant that the costume needs to come from St. Lucia. It has to be authentically St. Lucian.
Nice. Yeah. So you all do you all look at the sketches before?
So what we do, we assign, that's the only segment of the show that we assign costume.
I realized this year you had some designers did 2 costumes. There's no problem in that as long as the persons are comfortable.
So long as you're comfortable with it, it's okay. You, with your camp, the contestant, the chaperone, the sponsor, I must say the sponsors, I have to shout out the sponsors.
Oh yeah, the sponsors are very much involved.
Much involved in that. So with their camp, they go to the costume designer and together they come up with the design.
Funny enough you said the sponsors. I had a request. I think, let's say I win Bank of St. Lucia, or I'm a sponsor, Bank of St. Lucia. I would want every time they introduce Miss Bank of St. Lucia, because to me, that's the sponsor for her that had her invest in her. To me, she should be Miss Bank of St. Lucia until the end of her reign. But I realize most time they will just say Sharmark Layer, and they don't say the sponsor anymore.
Oh no! I mean, we trust me. We've really pushed our sponsors, and I must say the sponsors.
No, I'm not saying they're not pushing. I'm just saying that is the sponsor that's reigning for the year. To me, that's the extra going the extra mile.
Yeah, but she's a national carnival queen, and then of course she's always been Miss BOSL. Everywhere she goes, she'll always.
Okay, so you want to beat me?
No, she'll always be Miss BOSL. Whoever the winner is.
No, I'm just saying. To me, like it's almost like royalty. Like it's part of the package, the title.
Yeah. She'll always be Miss, whoever her sponsor, whoever the winner is, the sponsor, she'll always be Miss BOSL or Miss JP Chane or Miss whatever. She will always be,
next
apart
question,
from the national.
We and the sponsors. When you have your pool of sponsors, fabulous sponsors, all the sponsors give the same amount of money. How do the sponsors dip for the contestants? Do they pick? How do they go ahead and select the contestants? How do you pay the contestants and the contestants?
We don't pay the contestants and the chaperones. We don't pay the sponsors and the contestants. The sponsors pretty much say, hey, this is who I want to sponsor.
From the audition? From what time?
From when we've chosen the contestants. Some of them are invited to the auditions. And when they see the contestants, they know who they want. And because if you're putting your money into a contestant, you want to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Now suppose both of us won the table. You already select the table. How does that work?
So long as both of you are on the table, whoever brings the money first, Sharmark.
Oh, first come, first serve. Okay. Nicely. Okay.
Right. I mean, if you're a sponsor and you want to sponsor something, I can push somebody onto you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I can push somebody onto you. So in the whole process of the girls auditioning, I think the sponsors go back and watch your Facebook. They sometimes do their own background checks and say, hey, I've checked and I see this isn't. At the end of the day, I cannot tell you, no, you cannot sponsor that girl. You have to sponsor that girl. If in the process they say, hey, unfortunately somebody have already sponsored Sharmark, this is
who you
who's
have
left
on the table, yeah.
and then we give them an opportunity. But we don't pay.
Oh, nice. Okay, I find, is it the sponsors on their own? I find the last couple of years, the sponsors are very instrumental in terms of the whole pageant. It's almost like the sponsors is the National Carnival Committee. I find it's really good for the culture, the contestants. I think it makes it easier for you all, the committee.
I love the sponsors. I will always love the sponsors. The sponsors make the work
And
easier.
I find this year I was very impressed with that stuff you all had at Sanders. You all had a meet and greet for the sponsors, a cocktail.
Very involved. The sponsors get involved. Each sponsor does their own specific sponsor event for each of the girls. So each of the girls, if you have 8 girls, that's 8 events you have there already.
Now,
no money comes money comes out of
the pocket. Now I like the idea of that. I was thinking they should have at least, because we didn't see that. It's something, to me, when other young people see St. Lucia and see this good publicity, to me, they should have taken a clip from each of these events and edit it and maybe show it before the show starts or afterwards. So it's extra mileage for the sponsors.
Eventually we'll get there.
Yeah.
Little by little.
Because I saw clips of some of them and it was very interesting.
So each sponsor does a sponsor event for each of the girls.
Nice. That means we're growing good. We're going places with the national.
Next year is going to be the best. I'm telling you, we have something in store for St. Lucia.
Mr. King, before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to leave with us in terms of the National Carnival Queen Pageant that you think that is important that we know as St. Lucians?
It's an event that really allows young ladies to experience different personalities, different cultures. It allows them to meet people. It allows them to network. It allows them an opportunity of a full-fledged scholarship. It allows them $25,000 cash. And it allows them an opportunity that not just with the pageant, but after the pageant, to use all those resources and all those people they've met and all the networking to continue to grow and develop themselves. So I say that to say, allow the young ladies to
express themselves,
allow them to take advantage of those opportunities, support them when they decide to go up, and just give them that true St. Lucian unity that we always give when we reach on the regional stage, but not on the local stage. So let's support every single girl when they decide to go up.
Mr. King, let me throw in one more question. When you get the title National Carnival Queen, my little $25,000 I win, who's covering all those wardrobes for all those outings I have to do? You have to come at in a little $25,000.
Which, that's after the show? So no. The $25,000 is yours.
Okay.
And all the gifts you've gotten throughout
is mine, pal.
Is yours. Plus your full self-scholarship. Right?
Okay.
And we take care of.
You give a stipend towards the wardrobe?
Every month the contestant gets a stipend.
Hey, so cool. Sign me up next year.
Every month the winner, the winner, the reigning queen, gets a stipend. Beautiful. And if in that process she comes up with stuff that she wants to do, the committee is there and we assist.
Mr. King, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you. St. Lucia, we brought you the tea on the National Carnival Queen. Mr. King, thank you so much on the behalf of St. Lucia. And I think I covered all the questions. It was a pleasure. St. Lucia, National Carnival Queen, look forward to it next year. Thank you so much for viewing.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Wardrobe sponsored by Charmaine Freeman Designs.